If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. What we know is a drop, what we don't know is an ocean. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. Nature is pleased with simplicity and affects not the pomp of superfluous causes. We build too many walls and not enough bridges. The laws of nature are but the mathematical thoughts of God. To every action there is always opposed an equal reaction. No great discovery was ever made without a bold guess. Gravity explains the motions of the planets, but it cannot explain who sets the planets in motion. I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, and diverting myself in now and then finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me. The moon's revolutions are subject to the same law as the motions of the planets. A man may imagine things that are false, but he can only understand things that are true. The true measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. No scientific theory can ever be proved, it can only be supported by evidence and repeated testing. The only way to understand the world is through science and reason, not through myth and superstition. To every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. To me, there has never been a higher source of earthly honor or distinction than that connected with advances in science. The human mind is capable of discovering the laws of nature and applying that knowledge to benefit society. The universe is vast and infinite, and there is still so much that we have yet to discover. It is not what we know that is important, but how we go about finding it. Science is not only a disciple of reason, but also one of romance and passion. All things are governed by fixed and immovable laws, and chance is but a name for the unknown. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. True wisdom is in understanding you know nothing. What we know is little, what we don't know is immense. Genius is patience. Nature is infinite, and so is our capacity for understanding. I have seen further than others by standing upon the shoulders of giants. The mind of a philosopher is like a mirror, which reflects the objects placed before it. It is the weight, not numbers of experiments, that is to be regarded. To understand the universe, one must understand mathematics. The greatest thinkers are those who seek to explain the inexplicable and unravel the mysteries of the universe. A man's ignorance sometimes is not only useful, but beautiful. It is not always the same thing to be a good man and a good citizen. I have a strong inclination to call all mathematical truths metaphysics. A man may imagine things that are false, but he can only understand things that are true. For if the things be false, the apprehension of them is not understanding. The knowledge of all things is possible. We are to admit no more causes of natural things than such as are both true and sufficient to explain their appearances. I can calculate the motions of the heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. The eyes are more exact witnesses than the ears. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. God is the same God, always and everywhere. As a blind man has no idea of colors, so have we no idea of the manner by which the all-wise God perceives and understands all things. If I have done the public any service, it is due to my patient thought. The best and safest way of philosophizing seems to be, first to inquire diligently into the properties of things, and to establish those properties by experiments, and then to proceed more slowly to hypotheses for the explanation of them. The important thing in science is not so much to obtain new facts as to discover new ways of thinking about them. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and all science. Philosophy is such an impertinent thing. A man who undertakes to explain everything must either be very ignorant or very clever. To myself, I am only a child playing on the beach, while vast oceans of truth lie undiscovered before me. Nature is pleased with simplicity and effects her ends with few means. Errors are not in the art, but in the artificers. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. In the absence of any other proof, the thumb alone would convince me of God's existence. The universe is vast, and perhaps infinite. I have a strong persuasion that mathematical studies will prove advantageous to all those who seriously apply themselves to it. I do not know what I may appear to the world, but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore. I have made this letter longer than usual because I lack the time to make it shorter. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools speak because they have to say something. It is the man who carefully advances step by step, with his mind becoming wider and progressively better able to grasp any theme or my whole horizon, who is bound to succeed in the greatest degree. Plato is my friend. Aristotle is my friend, but my greatest friend is truth. The only way to understand the universe is through mathematical principles.